Once you've associated an Android Studio project with a GitHub repository, you can create and manage multiple branches. You might create a branch so you can try some new code that you're not sure about yet, but then once you've tested that code, you might then merge the new branch into the original one, known as the master branch. Or you might discard the branch when you decide you don't like the changes. I'll demonstrate this with the project GitHub project that I created in an earlier video, and I've added this project to its GitHub repository. Now, when you watch this course, this particular repository might not be here, or it might not be in the same state. If you're following along, I encourage you to create your own project and your own GitHub repository. Back in Android Studio, I'll create a new branch. I'll go to the menu and choose VCS, Git, Branches. The original branch is always called Master. To create a new branch that's based on the current branch, click New Branch, and then give it a name. I'll name it With Changes, and click OK. Now, any changes that I make to my application will be a part of the new branch, but not of the original master branch. I'll add a new Java class. I'll right-click on my base package and choose New, Java Class, and I'll name it just New Class, and click OK. When prompted to add the file to Git, I'll click Yes. If I were to click No, I could always add it later. I could right-click on the file itself and choose Git, Add, or I could do that at a higher level of the directory structure and pick up any files that have been added since the last commit. Before I try to commit it, though, I'm going to make some changes to the class. Git will complain if you try to check in a file that was based on a template, like a new class, without making any customizations. So I'll get rid of the generated comment, and I'll add a no arguments constructor by selecting Code, Generate, Constructor. Now the class is sufficiently customized, and I'm ready to commit it to my repository. I can commit changes to my current module by right-clicking on the module and then choosing Git, Commit Directory, but that would only pick up changes to that directory and its subdirectories. If you want to pick up changes to the entire project, click the Commit Changes button on the toolbar or in the version control window. They have exactly the same graphic and they cover the entire project. Now in my example, I only have a single file. If you're following along, you might see other directories and other files, and I encourage you to select them all. As always, you'll need a commit message, and I've set my commit message to Added Java Class. I'll then move the cursor over the commit button and choose Commit and Push, and when I see the Push Commits dialog, I'll click Push, and now my changes have been committed to the remote repository. I'll go back to GitHub, and I immediately see a message indicating that the new branch was pushed. But it doesn't appear immediately on the branch list, which appears when I click this button. To see that, I'll refresh my page, and then click the branch button again, and there's my new branch, with changes. Notice the URL, tree/withchanges. Then, to see the new code, I'll drill down into my Java directory by going to App, Source, Main, and then my project directory, and there's my new Java class. Then I'll return back to the GitHub project root by simply trimming everything else off the URL. Now once you've created the branch, you can switch back and forth between the master and the new branch. Back in Android Studio, I'll select VCS, Git, Branches, and I see that I have the local branch master and the remote branch master. I'll choose the local branch and then choose Checkout. Now when I do that, my new Java class disappears, and that's because it wasn't a part of the master branch. On your system, you might see that the version control tab has disappeared, and if you go to the menu and choose VCS, the Git menu choice might have disappeared also. If that happens to you, go to the Preferences or Settings dialog, click on Version Control, and look for this directory, listed as an unregistered directory. If you see that, click it, then click the plus button at the bottom or on the right, and it'll be re-added. Then click OK. I'll cancel because that wasn't my issue. And then your Git menu choice and your version control window should have reappeared. Now, let's say I wanted to incorporate the changes from my new branch into my original branch. I could go to the menu and choose VCS, Git, Merge Changes. Then I would check the new branch and click Merge. And this new class is now a part of the master branch. I'll go back to GitHub and I'll see that I'm looking at the master branch here. And now I'll drill down into my Java directory again. I'll refresh the page, and I don't see the file listed here. To make sure that it's been properly uploaded, I'll open the class, and I'll make any little change I like, and then I'll commit my changes. This time I'll go through the menu and choose Git, Commit Directory. I see the class is there. I'll change the commit message to Changed Java Class. And once again, I'll commit and push, and then push. I'll wait until the push operation is done. I'll come back to GitHub and refresh, and there's my new class. Once you're done with a branch, you can delete it. I'll once again go to my Branches dialog, and I'll need to delete the branch twice, both the local and the remote version. I'll delete the local branch by clicking it and choosing Delete. And then I'll go once again to the menu and choose Git Branches. And then I'll delete the remote version. When prompted to confirm, I'll click the Delete button. Then I'll come back to GitHub. And once again, I'll trim off everything other than the root URL. And then I'll open my branch list and see that the new branch is gone. So these are the tools you need to create new branches, merge new branches with the original master branch, and delete branches when you're done with them.